Bearded Bear Podcast. Welcome back. It is Michael Reese along with Angelo Pascanelli and Bears lose 41-10 to the defending champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Before we jump into any stats or anything, just give me your raw initial thought right now after that massacre.
It's literally right here. Fire all the coaches. Fire them all. I mean, like like Dennis Green said, the Bears are who I thought they were. I mean, we talked about this. We knew that they were going to get crushed, but it was like there was no fight in any of them. It seemed like,
Yeah.
besides Roshan Johnson, I feel like he was the only one fighting.
I believe we said that earlier in the week too.
Yeah,
And I'm right there with you, bro. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle to even win the game, let alone compete in the game. We knew that. I stated earlier in the week I would be happy with a performance like last year's Miami or Dallas game where you just hung around, you had a chance, you showed fight. But what we saw today, I think, just was the nail in the coffin for the coaching staff. Honestly,
yep.
a lot of it is on the players too. A lot of just not execution, but it just seems to me as if the players quit. That's what I saw.
Yep, I agree. And you know what? Another thing is that you just can't. I just feel like they give up too easily. So we had talked about last episode. We talked about the like right foot, left foot thing. Going back or whatever.
Hmm.
I'm watching the game and I notice his Fields is still on his right foot back instead of his left foot. I'm watching
Right.
Mahomes. Mahomes' left foot is back, and this dude is the
Yeah.
best quarterback in the league. So I don't know what the fascination is with changing the way Fields does something when obviously it works for other people.
Yeah. With today, I don't even know if that would have made a difference.
Oh
Uh,
no, absolutely.
I mean, the play Fields got hurt. Um, Again, he had a wide open Cole Kmet coming across the screen on a drag. I just don't understand how he misses those reads. Now, we haven't seen the all 22. We haven't seen different angles, but a lot of the highlights they showed today too, nobody was open on a lot of those plays. And that was kind of the first time we've saw that this year where there weren't guys open. So that just goes right back to the question of the scheme just sucks, man. It's not even a question, it's a statement. The scheme is terrible.
The scheme is awful. They don't use DJ Moore like at all. You use DJ Moore at the end of the game, like the game's over, dude. You're already losing 42 or 41-3. Like what's going on? And it's just like they can't convert on a third down. Their offensive line can't block. They can't get any pressure on Mahomes. I mean, I knew we have a hard time getting pressure, but dude, Mahomes just like carved us up the whole game. He did whatever he wanted. It's unbelievable, to be honest.
Yeah. He had, like you said, he's already the best passer quarterback in the league. Honestly, top 5 in history already. And you just send 4. He has 5, 7, 8 seconds in the pocket, just sitting there. You leave Kelsey, not even one-on-one coverage. You're sitting in the same zone, and they're just running these little curls right to the middle of the field, catching the ball. No one's touching them 12 yards down the field. It's just like very minuscule and elementary play calling going on both sides of the ball. It won't get better. It
No,
won't get
no.
better.
You'd have to all new coaches. You need all new coaches, which also takes Justin Fields more time to develop because now
Yeah.
you're going to get a new coaching staff, a new way the offense is ran, a new offensive coordinator. Everything's going to be different. So that's going to put him back even further. And then how much longer do you wait? You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's hard to watch when you want someone to succeed, and then it's hard to watch when you know he can run the ball and you're not calling run plays for him.
Yeah.
I get it. You don't want him to get hurt. We already talked about this.
We
But
saw it today.
right, when his strength is running the ball, you're literally taking away a whole dynamic of what Justin Fields can do.
So jumping into Justin Fields just real quick, he went 11 for 22 for 99 yards.
Bro, 99 yards. That is awful.
Awful. One touchdown, one interception, 3 sacks, and a 58.7 quarterback rating. He did have 11 carries for 47 yards. But my issue with that is we were running when we were down 41-0. Why do you start to run him and we're down 40 already?
Right.
That makes no sense.
Might as well just keep him in the pocket and just let him throw at
At
that point.
that point, yeah. We saw the bomb to DJ Moore that was dropped. But outside of that, honestly, there was nothing. I mean, you had the garbage slant to end the game.
Right.
Nice, whatever. But did you see anything today that made you say, okay, I still kind of believe in Fields if we change the coaching, or are you out?
Man, Mike, I'm so close to being out on Fields because you're right. Some of it has to be coaching, right? And what'll end up happening is he'll go somewhere else. He'll have like some kind of resurgence and be good under a different coaching staff because they're going to use him the right way. But there's still, like you said, he's missing looks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how can you hold the ball for 4 seconds and you know your offensive line is garbage? Like know that people are back there. You have to get rid of the ball. And he's just missing all these looks. I don't get it.
And that's why I'm confused that because some plays earlier in the game, there were situations where he was holding the ball, but there was 3 streaks being ran. So there is no like crossing routes. There aren't really any out routes or comeback routes to even give the opportunity. Like I said, we haven't seen all the angles, but just the initial reaction, it was kind of like, okay, guess he's like, you want to play free? Well, we're just going to have them run these deep shots and then you run around like a chicken with your head cut off and try to figure it out. And it's too late at that point.
I feel like in the end of the game, they were moving the ball pretty easily, and that's obviously because they were playing softer D. We know that, but some of the shots they took, some of the plays they ran looked better than what they run normally. I just, and then they take that shot to Claypool, blatant pass interference.
It was,
but also I feel
you're
like
6'3".
Yeah, get the ball, quit playing soft.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple things that the Chiefs did where they ran. I don't know his first name. It might be Rashid Rice.
Yeah.
They ran that same play like 3 times where he was just like open in the zone. And like nobody, like I understand like the coaching staff, we know they're not in, right? They're not making that adjustment. But when is guys like a Sanborn or a Brisker going to be like, oh shit, they ran that already. I know that they're running this. I'm going to make the adjustment and come up on this. But they're not doing it.
Yeah. And that's where you run into this issue of, is it the players? Is it the coaching? Is the coaching taking them so far out of their keys and zones that they aren't even recognizing that, which that is a part of coaching as well. Like you're coaching the natural just awareness of, oh shit, we've seen this play 3 times in a row, just like last week, but reversed, but no one steps up to make that play. Real quick before you continue, just to go through Mahomes just switching to the opposite side of the ball. He went 24 for 33, so excellent. Threw for 272, 3 touchdowns, 127.3 passer rating, and basically 3 1/4 of quarters.
I'd like to know kind of what the advanced stat is on how many quarterback pressures that they got on him, because if it's 0, that's insane. He had 33 dropbacks.
It wasn't 0. So I believe at the beginning of the third, it was no. So when he had 18 dropbacks, it was at 2. I remember that. I don't know what he finished with though. No,
that's unreal. And then you even got so Pacheco had 62 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 55, and Mahomes rushed for 28. Mahomes rushed for 28, man. Like we know he's a magician, but like 20, there was that play where he was like on the sideline and he was like tiptoeing and like no one pushed him out. I'm like,
No.
what are you doing? He's just going to keep running.
Yeah. Hits. Where's the hits, man? Where's the hustle?
Right. There's like no hustle. I mean, the D looked awful. Besides in
Terrible.
the fourth quarter when they picked off Blaine Gabbert twice,
Yeah.
I like seeing those guys get some like moral victories because it keeps their confidence up. But dude,
Does it though?
right, does it?
I, heading into next week, you have Denver, who gave up 70 today. So I don't think the coaching staff will get fired. I don't think any firings or changes are happening this week because it is the Chiefs in Arrowhead. We kind of expected this. If they lose to Denver, will there be coaching changes?
I think that there should be, but I think they're going to give them one more week and let them play the Commanders, because then if you really can't do anything against the Commanders, then you're in trouble. Because I mean, even though Russ hasn't played well this season, he's still throwing for like 300 yards a game, which
Yeah.
is a lot, you know. So
Yeah.
he could throw on the Bears, and they could lose pretty easily to Denver. Honestly, I think the Commanders, they have a chance of beating, but so far what I've seen from Fields is just I don't know, man. I just don't. I mean, Sam Howell looks pretty good compared to Fields. I mean, I don't know if you caught any of that Green Bay game, but they were down 17 points in the fourth, and they came back and won. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had
Yeah.
a buddy of mine text me, and they were like, I feel like if that ever happened to the Bears, they're out. They're out of the game already with 17 points. Like, ever.
Yeah.
When are we going to
Yeah.
get that quarterback that could do that?
Yeah. And I was tuning into that game, and I actually got into like a Bleacher Report community argument about it. But it was basically this guy just trying to like, oh, Jordan Love, great quarterback play today. And honestly, his numbers were very pedestrian. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, like a 50 something completion rate. And I'm like, dude, it goes beyond just that.
Right.
Matt LaFleur is scheming it up. Guys are wide open. He's creating different looks. We never get that. And that's what's so frustrating. You have the talent of Fields. I mean, regardless of how bad he played, we saw that was a beautiful bomb to DJ that he dropped. That was
Yes.
a thread the needle throw he threw in the end zone.
Right. So he's got the arm and he's got the talent.
Why can't we put it together? Why can't they get it? Me personally, it kills me to say, but I'm out because I don't see anything changing with this current coaching staff and with this situation right now. I believe in his talent, but I don't believe in the surroundings right now.
So if everybody gets fired this, halfway through the season, let's say,
Which we've never done, by the way.
right. Well, that's typical Bears thing. They got to,
Yeah.
everybody else does it, but us, we can't do it,
Right.
So say that does happen, right? I mean, it might be different because Poles is there. We get a new coaching staff this offseason. Would you still would you give Fields another chance, or you're just done? You just want to go a different direction?
To me, it just depends on what changes and how it looks if that situation was to occur. Because like I said, I believe in his talent, but I don't think he believes in what's going on right now. And I think it's clear that the rest of the team doesn't believe what's being preached. So it's kind of hard to say I'm still in on him when I don't even think he's in on it, if that makes sense,
Yeah, no, he looked like he was kind of like
going through the motions.
Yeah, kind of like sleepwalking or whatever out there.
Yeah.
Now, I just think that if you lose confidence in yourself, and that's the problem with putting a guy out who's a rookie, it's you lose confidence and you kind of like lose your way, and that's kind of it for your career a lot of times. But a thing that bothers me is that Anthony Richardson in Indy, they're scheming for him.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud, they're scheming for CJ Stroud so he can look good.
Yeah.
Bryce Young is another story. I really just don't think Bryce Young is going to be a good NFL quarterback, but they are also scheming for Bryce Young to make him as successful as possible.
Yeah.
So, what are the Bears doing wrong? Now, I know that on the last video, there was a comment about how that they're paying, coaches on the cheap or getting these first-year coaches. I totally agree with that comment
Yeah.
because first-year coaches aren't proven. Look at Matt Nagy. Awful. Now you're going to look at Eberflus. Awful.
Yeah.
Awful, man. He's won 3 games. That
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah. 3-18 now.
Like, dude, get off my team. Like, if
Yeah.
I was the GM, that's it, man. We're done. You can't win a game. Like,
Yeah.
you don't beat Denver, you're gone. I tell them that before the game. This is your job, so you better win.
I agree. 13 games in a row now without a win. We're coming up on a calendar year. Obviously, we'll be back Wednesday to dive deeper, more into the Denver game. Just wanted to give you guys a quick thought about what we think. Just quickly looking into next week, like we said, Denver gave up 70 today. Now, granted, Miami is an amazing offense, and shout out to what's their coach name? I can't remember his name right now.
Mike McDaniels.
Mike McDaniels, because he schemes it up very well too. What do you expect from the Bears, knowing what we know next week? Is it win or bust, or do they have to win like convincingly?
At this point, it's win or bust. I mean, I guess if I'm as a Bears fan, it's win or bust. Like, I don't care how you win. I think to keep their jobs, they need to win convincingly. That's if I'm the GM there, you got to convince me that you guys are making the moves to turn things around. And I know that there was a lot of off-field stuff that happened this week, but you still got to get ready to play a game. Like, that's your job. Like, things happen to us outside of our jobs,
Yeah.
and we can't just like go in our job and be like, hey, we can't really work today because XYZ happened at home. That's not how it works. Like, you got to get ready for the game and you got to play.
Yeah. I think if those guys don't come out inspired, ready to – first of all, Jaquan had the comment 2 weeks ago about being booed early. They're getting booed immediately. I'm just throwing that out there now. Not saying it should happen, but it's going to.
Yep.
If those guys don't come out inspired to play next week, back home for the first time since week 1 against a very, 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 very beatable Denver team that's probably running low on confidence as well, we're in trouble, man. I would say that the season starts next week because you have 4 games in a row that are winnable, at the very least competitive. There's no excuse for seeing what we saw these first 3 weeks. They're treading terribly, man. It's like we're getting worse by the week.
It is. I mean, you got to think about it this way: 99 yards from your quarterback. Maybe in 1940 that was okay. But like we're in 2023, man. It's a passing league, and I like when people can run the ball. That's like that's the bread and butter of a lot of these NFC North teams. Running the ball. We're black and blue division. But you got to be able to pass, man.
Yeah.
You can't do anything without a quarterback anymore, and the Bears will sit at the very. I mean, look at the Vikings. They're 0-3, and they have a good quarterback.
Yeah.
They just don't have other defense, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can't put it together in the next couple games, get rid of Fields, trade him maybe you can get something for him. Somebody might take him,
Jets.
Yeah, watch him go to the Jets and they win a Super Bowl. But I mean, you trade him, maybe you get something for him, and you get rid of the coaches and you start all over next year.
Yeah, unfortunately, the vicious cycle of being a Chicago Bears fan. But positive, let's be positive, man. Hopefully, coming back home against a lesser opponent, they can get a nice win, build some confidence, and maybe get the ball rolling. Look up, you get back to 500. That's looking way ahead of myself right now, but trying to leave this off with a positive. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Oh, Mike said, let's be positive. I got one positive thing for us. The Arizona Cardinals won, Carolina lost, and so did we. So if we keep trending this way and we do decide to get rid of Fields, we might end up having the first 2 picks in the draft. Yeah. So if we're not going to change the team around, on the field, we might have to do it after the season's over, unfortunately.
Hey, I don't want to think that far ahead and just say skip the rest of these 14 games, but I'm with you. Honestly, just real quick, that might be the worst loss of the day to me.
The Chiefs?
The Dallas loss.
Oh, the Dallas loss? Oh,
yeah.
Insane. That was a terrible game for Dallas.
Yeah.
And prior to all this, I said Dallas is going to win the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
for them to lose to Arizona makes me a little nervous now.
Yeah. But that's all we got for you guys today, man. Just a quick recap of the game. Speechless. I don't know, man.
Yeah, literally, that's exactly what it is.
We'll be back Wednesday for the Broncos pregame, and we'll have some new segments for you guys this week. Some draft betting. Draft betting. What am I talking about? Some fantasy.
Anytime touchdown score betting.
Yeah, there you go. I actually did hit a parlay. That DJ Moore touchdown at the end of the game actually won me a parlay.
Nice.
The last two legs I needed was Fields 1 passing touchdown and DJ Moore anytime. So
Ooh,
and yeah.
Stay positive.
Stay positive, baby. Bearded Bears podcast. We'll catch you guys on Wednesday.
Bear down, baby.